Let's do it.
All right, so you might want to take it and share it live from my page to your page. Okay, it just popped up live on my page, I think. Yep, we're there. We can also do a watch party. You want to share it on your page? You might want to take it and share it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share it right now.
Okay, everybody. I want to go ahead and say hello. I'm going to start off by praying. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Father, you know that we are doing major work to help people to be free. We ask that you bless our work and help us and guide us. We ask that you keep us. We ask that you allow our battery to last for this short time that we're going to be on this video, and that people might learn and good things happen. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, so I want everybody to share this video. Today we have myself, David, Jose, and Sandra. Are you here?
Hi, yes, I'm here. This is Sandra.
So we have myself, Sandra, Ariane here. We are trying to get the video shared. Everybody, can you see both of us, or can you only see me? Hey, you might have to speak. Let's see if we can get you on for good. I saw you just click in now.
I came back in. I was on Facebook, but I don't know if I'm here now. I think.
All right. Everybody, we wanted to get together and talk because we know that there are a lot of people who are in the vaccine movement, or what we might call the medical freedom movement. You're here now. Tell me, first of all, can you introduce yourself for them and tell them what you do?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandra. I am a nurse here in the state of California, or a former nurse in the state of California. And I have been fighting.
Give me 1 second. Let me turn off Facebook. Facebook is talking. I apologize. Let me back up out of Facebook. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
Please forgive me. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So can you reintroduce yourself again?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sandra. I am a nurse here in California, and I have been fighting alongside parents that have had vaccine-injured children, or children that have died due to vaccines, and also just freedom fighters that are fighting to retain their freedoms, specifically our medical freedoms, as they are being stripped away with bills such as the ones that just passed here in California, SB 276 and SB 714. So I've been busy with that.
Okay, it's saying our internet connection is unstable. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, I just wanted to make sure we were okay. So tell me, I know that we talked to people the other day. We did a video and they were able to see some of the things that were in your own constitutions that showed them that CPS can't do what it is that they're doing. And I believe that a lot of the people gained some fire from it. So we kind of wanted to go back and discuss something that they could use, discuss the affidavit that I use personally when I'm fighting against CPS, and a lot of the parents have used, because ultimately I believe that we all understand that the weapon that is used against us is the very fact that CPS gets involved after these people call on you from the hospitals, or they want you to get a vaccine, you don't do it, so they threaten you with CPS. I believe if there was no CPS, people wouldn't give a freak what mandate these people make, right?
Right, exactly. you know, we can say we don't consent. You know, we don't. I do not consent to this bill that just passed, this law that has been put in place. But in reality, right, there is a threat. There is a threat that I might be forced. And what kind of force would be used other than CPS, or, you know, and CPS in conjunction with police authorities.
Okay, so what I wanted to do, if it's okay, is go over, and everybody please share this. Is going to be some powerful stuff. Some of the people in the CPS fight have seen this before, but I wanted people to be able to see. Go ahead.
And I want to clarify something, because something that is new to that I'm trying to introduce to everyone who is in the medical freedom movement right now. It seems that we've hit a wall, right? At least here in California, where we lost, even though we put in all our usual efforts in, which have been mostly trying to communicate with representatives and trying to demonstrate peacefully. But as we can see, that's not really working. That's not actually doing anything. So when we are talking about affidavits, which is really something that is that I'm trying to introduce to the medical freedom movement, who is now having to face what are the next steps, the question of what's next. And you have been using this powerful affidavit to what? Tell me a little bit about your story, because I think it's important for people to know why you're fighting CPS.
Gotcha. So first of all, I'm fighting CPS personally because I had a teenager who wanted to deal with a whole bunch of little gangster boys, ended up doing some things that she should not have done. Her mom and I saw that she got into a ton of trouble with these boys. So we decided to bring her to homeschool. She did what a normal 15-year-old would do, try to find a way to get her way. Hold on one second for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What ended up happening is that we decided to bring her to homeschool. And we decided to bring her to homeschool, she made false allegations, which she did for her fourth time in her life, you know. So she's been doing this since she was little. At the time, CPS got to a point in Arizona where they steal kids at 900 kids a month. So they got to a point where they just started trafficking. So when I first got involved in this fight, I didn't know these things. I didn't have any idea about how powerful an affidavit was. I didn't understand what it was that I was fighting. So, you know, as a man, you talk to your wife and you're like, you want to protect, you want to make sure things are okay, but you can only fight what you can understand. You can only fight when you know how something works. So I spent every single day for well over a year to a year and a half studying law pretty much all day. And if I drove somewhere to take care of some business, I was playing law. It was in my ear. I just kept listening to the law. And then I started to find out different things about the common law. I started to find out how people were hiding things, but I wasn't able to put everything together yet. And then I prayed really hard. God started letting me see the value of affidavits. Well, still, I had to find out what the system was doing. And so when I started finding out what the system was doing, my case was almost at the end. And it was crazy because I started finding out dirty tricks that they were doing and fraud. But because I was like one of the first ones to catch it, they kind of looked at it like, okay, well, you're just talking crazy, or yeah, that's not the truth, or whatever. They tried to blow it off. Well, I let them know that, listen, I am not going to kiss your butt from my kids. I am going to fight you guys. I'm going to find out everything that's going on in the system. So I did. I researched. I found out everything that was going on. They ended up, I withdrew from their court and went to the Supreme Court immediately, which doesn't really happen. But the Supreme Court tried to hide it. So I said, okay, well, everybody's going to get it. I don't give a darn, right? So I kept talking, and I started teaching other people. And so it ended up that some of the people that I started teaching, the court realized like, oh shucks, like this dude is showing so many people that the people know. So then it started having an effect where 9 people in who had the same judge and attorney as me got their one lady got 9 kids back. Then
Wow.
another lady got 4 kids back. Yeah. Then David Straight came to Arizona and another person got 2 out of 3 kids back in one day. So we started to see success. Then we started helping people around the country. A lady in the Midwest got 4 kids back. And a lady in England got a kid back, all from using the affidavit, you know? And so my
And
story
what,
is that, go ahead. I
go
didn't
ahead.
have everything that I'm giving everybody else the way that I have it now. So when the courts realized how much I understood, what they started to do is just try to hide from me. You
Hmm.
see? So I tried to serve the head of CPS and he kind of just hid, you know, like he told the people in his office, a skyscraper, to say they don't know who he is. And then one of the guys said, oh, that we were told not to take any lawsuit paperwork from anybody, right? So they're
Mm-hmm.
hiding from process. So they'll steal your kids with fake court orders. Then when you come after them, then they want to hide, right?
Mm.
So I got 20 something percent left on my battery. And right now I'm still chasing them for my kids. So I found out what I found out later. People are using my stuff in federal cases now. Some people are getting, one lady has sanctions coming on CPS and got people fired. Another lady got 2 people fired in Canada. Another lady got 3 police officers fired, all from the affidavit. So the thing is that because we're all learning what the truth is, because we're telling everybody, it's allowing for our affidavits to also have recourse, because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people can't find a way to hold people responsible. Well, when the system think nobody knows, then they just continue to punish. But when they find out you know what they're doing, it's not fun anymore, because now you can make affidavits where you can put their name on the record, and it's something that will go down in history showing that they did crimes against humanity. They stole people's kids, they trafficked, and you can't run from that. So when we put our affidavits or documents in their court, it's a private court, they seal it and throw it away, nobody's gonna ever find out. When we do affidavits and put it out in the public, they
Mm-hmm.
get in trouble because it's there and we're finding out all the fraud they're doing, and they can't deny the affidavit. When you can't rebut the affidavit, it stands as true. So even if you don't win today in their eyes, the record is
Mm-hmm.
there and you won based on the affidavit. When the law catches up with them, it's going to be held to pay. You see what I'm saying?
Nice. Yeah.
So, so so I realized that my job is not to just fight for my own case. My job is to help everybody win together. Because if we all stand up, then the politicians have nowhere to run. If we just worry about our own specific cases, we get in trouble. So right now, where
Mm-hmm.
we're fighting medical freedom and different things like that, we need to all make a record that Senator Penn is committing a crime against the people. The politicians are committing a crime against the people. Because once
Mm-hmm.
you put it on the record, if they do anything wrong to you, they could pay with treason, charges of treason, which has
Mm-hmm.
a very high penalty to pay. And so just like the Nuremberg trials, nobody stood up to Hitler when he was building up all this falsehood. Right now, we are ahead of the game. There's more of us who know that they're doing wrong than it is of them. So if we start putting them on notice now, we protect ourselves and we put themselves in a situation where for the first time, they're held accountable.
And give me a little bit more information on uh, police officers write affidavits, correct? And lawyers can write affidavits. So why is it that the public is generally not aware of affidavits?
Well, if you see a police officer come to a crime scene, they're going to try to get people to write affidavits to be evidence, because that's how you make a warrant. Before you can make a warrant, you must have evidence in the form of an affidavit sworn under the penalty of perjury. And if you have that, that's prima facie evidence to arrest people.
Mm-hmm.
So cops do it. Attorneys, when they want to get people, they'll have somebody write an affidavit and then they'll get the prosecutor to go after them. They know that if you have an affidavit, that puts people's butt on the line because you're swearing something is true, and you
Mm-hmm.
can be equally punished if you're lying. So the reason that attorneys don't tell us in CPS and family courts and medical freedom fights about the affidavit is that the affidavit would be the very thing that will punish their clients and the bar members and the politicians. So those people who make money off of getting you shots and backing the medical companies and writing bad laws on purpose against the Constitution and coming after you, they know darn well that if you write an affidavit that has their name on it, it's a great likelihood they're going to end up in prison. Like, how do you write a law that goes against the people's right and then say, he wrote an affidavit that said I made a law that went against his rights and sent police after me and it was against my rights, and there's a freaking law on the books that say you did it and you voted for it?
Right.
How do you say it didn't happen? You see, the police officers belong to the corporate state or the corporate city or municipality. So when they say force these people to get shots, it's the government officials that's making the police officers do it. The police officers don't belong to us. They belong to the corporate entity. The sheriff is the constitutional officer. So when they start saying do these things, they are wrong. They are wrong. And so we have to put their names. We have to say we gave them notice because they have something called good faith. And we only got 16% battery left to go over the affidavit though. So we got to go fast. When they fail to respond to your wishes as the people, they're doing what's called a trespass if you gave them notice. What they like to do is have nobody give notice, nobody teach the law, and then they say, well, you know, nobody knew what was going on, so how could we know that we were harming people? We thought we were just doing stuff in good faith, so we came with the police, snatched them out of school, and gave them shots. That was good faith. We thought we were doing the right thing. We didn't know we were trampling their rights. Nobody told us. So when the people tell you beforehand and you do it anyway, now it's a bad situation because it's like the trespass sign saying, don't trespass on my lawn, you got to pay me $50. So if you say don't trespass on my body, I don't agree with you, I don't consent. It's on paper now, on a record that they can't deny. So when they say, oh, well, go ahead.
I was going to say, so there's power in numbers when doing these affidavits, correct?
There's power in one affidavit, but a whole bunch of us, that's like, you're going to show that they trampled over a ton of people's rights without care. So in law, you give due notice so people can give due care. You must give them notice. It's kind of like in a relationship. You say, look, I don't like when you come home after 8 o'clock at night and you don't tell me where you are. So once your spouse tells you that they don't like that and give you notice, it's all fair game when they say you trespass against me. You see, if you tell a guy, hey, I don't like when you're calling other girls on the phone, don't do that, and then he does it anyway, now it's a trespass. You see what I'm saying? You feel it now, right? So it's the same thing in the common law. It's common sense. When I say don't do this to me and you do it anyway, you're in for a butt kicking, right? But what I want to do is I want to share this affidavit so people can see it, see if we can make it happen. Okay, so right here, if you guys can see, pay close attention, it's going to say, uh-oh, battery is running low. We don't want to see that.
It makes it for a more intense live.
Yeah, I know, I got to kick some butt. So right here, it says CPS and partners trafficking notice by affidavit, right? So what we're doing is, I say comes now affiant because some people pronounce it affiant, affiant, whatever. That means the person who is affirming that something is true, right? So every affidavit must have one. Then we see where it says, David Jose Romero, that's my Christian name. My first name is David Jose. One of the people in this court of record. So what we're doing is we're creating a record, a court of record document with our affidavit, sui juris, which means that I can handle my own affairs and I'm in the right status, making the following claims and giving due notice of the following facts that all government officials and private contractors may give due care. So I'm showing you what the law is for me. You better act right and follow it, or you gonna pay. All right. Then I showed the Arizona Declaration of Rights because I want people to understand what the government is and where it came from. So fundamental principles. A frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential to the security of individual rights and the perpetuity of free government. That means if I want to be free, I got to keep reminding these clowns that they do not need to trample my rights. So what our forefathers realized, if you don't talk and tell what your rights are, that the government will jack you of your rights. Okay, we got 11% left. Political power and purpose of government. This is what all of us need to know. The government gets their power from us and nowhere else. And if we don't give them the power, they don't really have it. Watch this. Number 2, all political power is inherent in the people, and governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. In the Bill of Rights, they can't do a dang thing without your consent. If you didn't consent to it in the Constitution, they don't have a right to do it against you. Okay. And are established to maintain, protect, and maintain individual rights. The only purpose of government is to protect your rights and maintain your individual rights, nothing else. Okay. So when they try to force you to get a shot, force you to raise your kids a certain way, you can't do it. Government officials are also trustees. I'm just showing y'all what I did with mine. Protection of rights of the people require for the people to have their interests covered as they are the grantors of trust powers you hold as trustees in public service. Then I give proof of it with the Georgia 1877 Constitution. It says this: all governments of right originate with the people, is founded upon their will only, and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Public officers are the trustees. That means that you are giving them trust powers. They can't do anything without you giving them the power to do it, or they're breaching trust. It says, and service of the people, and at all times amendable to them. That means that they always have to follow what you dictate for them to do, and they cannot just do things based on what they choose. Now, a lot of you guys are worried about them taking your kids because of a petition from CPS. Well, not every petition that goes in and not every law that the state makes or statute is really a law. Some of it is unconstitutional. I'm going to prove it to you. Look at this. What did Sandra Day O'Connor say? The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on the issue of grandparent visitation rights in 2000 case.
Hello. Oh, okay. I think we reached our limit in time. So David Jose has left the meeting, and I don't know if I can get him back. But that's the information that we're going to start diving into more as we learn just what he's doing over there in Arizona and what all these other people that are in the same movement as him doing all over the country. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's next. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick overview, this quick video of something big that we are trying to share with you all. So have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.